in your mouth going into the offseason. As we'll see the number 18 team in the country, the Eastern Michigan Eagles, taking on a team from the playoff a year ago, the Penn State Nittany Lions. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. Kickoff team out there ready to tee it up in this bowl game. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. So Eastern Michigan's offense has the ball first today. Guys, it's been a long season. These two squads have had their fair share of battles, but today, David, they have a chance to end the season with a W.
And it's a little bit old school, right? With the bowl system, not as much to play for, but you get to put that uniform on again. And it should mean something.
And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15.
Man, Penn State is known for its defense, right? Tough, physical, they can stop the run, and they can get after the quarterback, and they do it from the linebacker position. You think about the legacy this school has had at that spot. This guy right here, he fits into exactly what they want a linebacker to be. The ability to get after the QB is a big part of it.
The give to the running back from the shotgun. Breaks into the open. He'll have enough to move the chains. It's first down at the 38. The Eagles come to the line with a new set of downs. Wide receiver comes in motion. Wants to go up top on first down. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. Behind the chains now on second and long. Back to pass. Trying to set up the screen. Pick up a 5. It'll be third down and 5.
One of the things I love about this offense is they're very versatile in their passing attack. They throw to receivers and tight ends, and the screen game is big as well. This guy is a weapon. You're seeing that here early.
They'll snap it from the gun on third down. That'll be enough to move the sticks and give Eastern Michigan a first down. This drive's been productive so far. Already picked up a couple of first downs, now out close to midfield. Wants to throw again. They'll run the screen. They've got him now. He almost picked up that first down on the screen.
You know, and that's why this guy can play first, second, and third down. You've already seen him earlier in the drive rip off some nice runs, but he can catch the football as well. They're going to find ways to get him going in all sorts of ways, but you're seeing it specifically on this drive.
Basic run plays. I don't need a bunch of complicated stuff sometimes. I just need to get the first down and get the sticks moving.
And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground.
You know, you talk so much about QBs, right? Having to make really good decisions. There's a great example. He didn't see anybody open downfield. He didn't hesitate for 1 second. He put his head down.
There he goes. Out of bounds, right at the 20-yard line. Edge of the red zone, and they have their eyes on a score. And the Eagles pounded the rock to move the sticks, now back to work. He's got it on the right.
They say tight ends are a quarterback's best friend in the pass game because think about it. The tight end's the guy lined up closest to the quarterback, which means generally those are the easiest throws a quarterback has. We saw it on that play.
Looking to fire. And the defense makes a play, and they get the quarterback down at the 26.
And it's hard to imagine starting a game any better than this defense has. 2 sacks on the opening drive of the game. Something that they pride themselves on. If they get you in these types of situations, they can pin their ears back and get after. They've got multiple guys that can be a factor when it comes to rushing the quarterback. You're seeing that very early here in this game.
And the offense got themselves in a tough situation. 3rd and long, so hard to execute, especially when the field starts to shrink. But the good news is they got a field goal in their back pocket.
He got it. And with that, they break the seal on the scoring. It's 3-0. So after the last drive ended with a field goal, the kickoff team out there to send it away.
And on this opening drive, the D gave up some yards, but that's okay. They buckled down when they needed to. They forced the field goal, keeping the home crowd still engaged, still excited, and now they get the football.
So Penn State's offense taking the field. First chance we have to see them today. As we take a quick look at the impact players for today's game, what players did you guys look to for motivation to make an impact during your playing days, Jesse?
Well, it was the guys we relied on each and every week. We came into the season expecting these types of guys to be our biggest weapons, and every week those were the guys that had to deliver for us in order to have success.
And it's just fun to have those guys that are consistent. Like, they lead by example, then they start to learn their voice and lead the team. But every week, guys that you can count on. They punch the clock, and they're hard workers.
He found a hole, got about 5. He's down at the 21.
And, when we talk about great third down defenses, it really starts with them getting stops on first and second down. You've got to get those stops early in the drives to set.
Turning it on! Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down.
Hard to imagine this is only their first drive of the game, but their defense was on the field for virtually an entire quarter. So, guys, there's a lot of pressure on this offense here to convert this third down so their defense can stay on the sideline and get their win back.
That's the end of the period, and Eastern Michigan has the lead. And after that first quarter, let's see if these guys can get back in the game in the second. So they'll go back to work after changing into the field. On the run, it's Carter. Got enough for the first, and he's still going. Makes the tackle at the 46, but it's a 15-yard gain to get them into plus territory. The Nittany Lions are marching down the field. Sends it back in motion. They've been running it, but down the pass. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. To the air on second down. Right on the money. Pick up a 5. They'll need 5 more on third down. Trying to pick up a first down. From the gun, he'll try to throw for it on third down. He lets one fly deep. He's got it down the left. Touchdown, Penn State! All that baby in and then strolled into the end zone for the score.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
Eastern Michigan has it back as the Eagle offense returns to the field. They'll start this drive with a chance to regain the lead, down 7-3. Makes the catch. It's Hodges. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. And now on second down for this offense. Wants to go up top. Finds his tight end. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. The Eagles come to the line on third and short, trying to keep the drive alive. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Wants to throw on third down. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a fourth down.
And I like the aggressiveness on third and short, trying to throw the football, take advantage of a look that they got. They weren't successful, and now it's fourth and short territory. Who knows what they're going to do?
Hauls it in, the first down and more. And they finally make the tackle, but this will be a pretty easy conversion for this offense. Eastern Michigan has it and a fresh set of downs. Off the play fake on first down. And This will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
That's what I'm talking about. That is how you close. And when a guy's going to make a catch, you make sure he doesn't make it. Physicality, using your pads, running through him. And guess what? Not only this play does he feel it, next time he tries to go over the middle or feels footsteps, this will pay dividends.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
He's got first down yardage as they move it to the 44. And the Eagles kept this drive moving on the ground, now back to work. Trying to get the edge with a quick touch pass. And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up.
And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all run after the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the outside.
Couldn't find his man last time. That leaves him with a 3rd and 6. He wants to throw it. Get it out on the screen. Now well within striking distance as that 3rd down play gets him a first at the 29. Plays like that with just a second of hesitation in the defense to make sure, and they're able to take advantage here.
And they use great timing with this call, right? Like, you can't call this play all the time, but you want to catch them when they're a little bit aggressive, not thinking about it. Nice job slipping the screen behind them.
Oh, he's got some space. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks. That big pickup on what they call the drag route, but if you hit it on time, you can hit the turbo boosters.
And you've got to be accurate on the throw, too, Reese. Nice job by the QB there, putting it out in front of his receiver to make an easy catch and then advance it.
And guys, how much better does it feel if you go to that locker room with a lead? Trying to rumble in. And he'll run it into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles! And these guys just score from anywhere out there? After that drive, it sure looks that way.
And that's what separates really good offenses from great offenses. When you're backed up in a bad position and you can still fight your way out and go get you a touchdown, that's a great drive by the offense.
And he's going to try to return this one. And they'll bring him down to get the offense started on the next drive. They take over late in the half, enough time to put together a drive. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Really good job making a play, getting it out to the 24 and moving those chains. The Nittany Lions are in the hurry-up. Looking downfield on first down. Puts it out of the air. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. Quick tempo, no huddle offense. Second down, clock's running. Makes the grab on the left. He was hoping to get that thing down the sideline. They get him out of bounds at the 37. They've got it at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Quick completion to the right. Stopped at the 47 after a 10-yard gain. They'll try to snap it quickly. Just keeps slinging it. He lets it fly. Got it in stride inside the 20. Touchdown, Nittany Lions. Once he got a step, it was all over right to the house.
Man, I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man, you want to take the lead. You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do it. They finish it with the passing game. I'll tell you what, keep that passing game up. You can keep this lead, keep the momentum, and keep putting up numbers.
On the run from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Eastern Michigan takes over as the offense heads to the field. A lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. They cashed in on a short field last time they had it, and now they'll go to work from their own end. They'll start this drive going to the air. And the
big, reliable security blanket. And that's what tight ends are a lot of the times. They're just usually big, huge guys that if I throw it anywhere near him, he's going to pluck it, catch it, and give me some positive yards.
And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up. Eastern Michigan will be forced to punt. Getting our first look of the afternoon at the punter. He was working his way on the return toward midfield. They'll stop him at the 46. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. There's enough time left in the half here, David, to make something happen.
Dang right. I want to be aggressive. I'm not backed up in my own end. I can stay aggressive here. Try to get a field goal, Palmer. Try to get in range to get some kind of points before half.
Yeah, two biggest things are you got to protect the quarterback, and the QB cannot throw a pick here in this situation. If you do those two things, you got an opportunity here to steal some points.
Nice job by the QB, sitting back in the pocket. You can tell he wants to throw the football, go through his progressions. Nothing home, take off, and slide. I love the slide at the end. Don't take a big shot.
Pass is incomplete. The clock is down to 9.
The big tight end tries to make a catch, and you can tell he extends for the ball, but great job by the defender getting in there, making the hit, dislodging the football out at the same time as he's going to catch it, and the big tight end couldn't hold on to it.
Throws to the wideout. Finds a man in the middle. That should be the final play of the first half. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Thanks, Reese. A first half spent in paradise, and in many ways, this Bahamas Bowl has lived up to expectations. And how do we possibly begin without singing the praises of this receiver? His ability to find gaps, run textbook routes, and then show that breakaway speed, he simply is the total package. How this secondary responds, whether they try to double team him or get aggressive at the line, that'll be the story of this second half. With that said, let's send it back to Reese and the guys for the conclusion of the Bahamas Bowl.
They'll open the second half with a run. Still on his feet at the 25. Ernie on the Jets.
Nice job getting outside, right? Those running backs, they get on those tracks, they run outside. Now they're in the open field. It's so tough. Those safeties are flying down, try to get an angle, but you could tell the speed sets him up, makes the big play out to the left.
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Back to pass. Gets it out fast. He snagged it, but he'll be stopped short of the first down. Good, solid pickup on that play. The Nittany Lions are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Leaves it with the back. They'll move the chains. Good execution on 3rd down. They've got it at the 41. So they picked up that last first down on the ground, now with a fresh set of downs. They'll ride the hot hand.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
They'll move the wide receiver. Off the play fake. Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion.
There's a lot of QBs that when they get hit and when they get hurried, when they get pressured, they become very average. Really nice job by the defense, pressuring the quarterback.
Couldn't find his man last time, and that leaves him with a 3rd and 6. Power football with the run. And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short.
That's a big key for this offense. Now, you got the lead here in the second half. You want to run the football. You got to just keep getting positive yards. You got to keep the 3rd downs manageable so you can stay on the field, bleed the clock. That's going to be the key for this offense and their team winning the game.
All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
That's a risky play call there. 4th and a couple of yards, and you turn around, you hand it to your running back, you say, my guy's a better athlete than any of yours on defense, and he's going to find a way to keep this drive going.
Handoff to the single back. Drives ahead for 3 to the 27-yard line.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
It's complete on the right side. And he'll have to check his fillings after that lick, but he did get the first down. The Nittany Lions getting set on 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Breaks into the open. Oh, he got loose. They'll finally get him stopped at the 1-yard line. What a run there. And the Nittany Lions line it up with a 1st and goal. Fast motion in the jet sweep. Great penetration by this defense, and they knock him down behind the line. A loss of 1.
So many offenses do this, right? They run the jet sweep. This defense was more than ready. They see it all the time. They got the penetration. That play had no chance to be successful.
And how about the work up front by that big defensive line?
Well, he gets tackled down at the 1-yard line, so offensively, do you feel confident enough on 3rd here trying to hand it off again?
Yeah, and I'm taking both these downs, and I'm coming downhill. I'm running the football, trying to get this in the end zone. I only got a yard to go. I got to be physical.
Pushes ahead. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Penn State. Backed up in the shadow of their own goalpost. No problem.
When you start in the black zone inside your own 20 coming out, it's difficult. You can give up a safety. You get worried about that. The offense puts a great drive together. Great job executing. Great job getting a touchdown.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Eastern Michigan has it back as the Eagle offense returns to the field. They didn't get much done the last time they had it, and to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. Lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game. So frustrating to see an offense lose track of the play clock and pick up a penalty like that. Defense a little too jumpy there, and they got into the neutral zone too soon. So the early contact for the defense, and they'll move it up 5 yards. The offense comes back out with a new set of downs after the penalty. Quick touch pass to the receiver. Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside. David, he puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get him out of the spot.
And this offense just has to find a way to convert this 3rd down, or else they are really in trouble. From the gun, wants to pass. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and 4th down's coming.
Well, after struggling so much in the first half, you thought they would have made some adjustments here at halftime to see if they can open up this passing game. But early on in the second half, they're just not really able to get that done. Incompletion on 3rd down in your own end, you're expecting them to punt.
They'll be able to get off one more play before quarter's end. Looking to throw on 1st down. Grabbed in the middle. It's Bullard. Defense makes the tackle, and that will probably be the final play of the 3rd quarter. We've come to the end of the quarter, and it's Penn State on top. And And we've reached the end of the third, and time is running out if they're going to cut into this deficit. Let's take a look at our game stats before we move on. So the final period starts with a second down play. Pulls and throws off the RPO. Nice move, creates some space. Touchdown, Nittany Lions! A great catch and run for 6.
And a lot of times late in football games, you'll see offenses get really, really conservative with the lead. I like how this offense didn't go against the clock. They stayed within themselves. They stayed true to who they were. And now, big-time advantage, big-time lead, up by 17 in the fourth quarter.
Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. Eastern Michigan takes over as the offense heads to the field. Weeks like this are tricky, but you have to respond better than they have, and I would expect they'll take a major hit in the rankings next week. Brought down at the 33, but not before he gets 10.
Really, really good decision-making by the quarterback. Don't get greedy. Yes, I can make reads, and I can pull it, and I can throw it all over the yard. If I can take 10-plus yards and continue to do that and continue to be smart with my decision-making, this offense is going to be very difficult to stop.
You see an incompletion there. I think a big reason why this team is in such a hole right now in the fourth quarter is they have just not been able to find the explosive plays throwing the ball. And you got to wonder at this point, is it too little too late?
Got his man on the right. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short gain there. Now facing a third and long. Motion from the wideout. On third and long, trying to have a big completion here. Got the quick pass. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down. Eastern Michigan going fast.
And this defense has really done a good job containing this superstar quarterback. But now,
nowhere to go with the ball, and down he goes at the 39.
We've seen throughout the course of the season, defenses have had their hands full with this quarterback. He's simply one of the best in the country. But what can you say about this defense here today? They have gotten after him, registering multiple sacks, and they've never let him get into a rhythm.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. Trying to pick up a first down. On third and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. He stopped short, and it's fourth down. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Coach has no choice here. The offense has to stay on the field, down multiple possessions this late. Fourth down attempt coming. That's caught. It's Baker. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down. The Eagles come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Looking to throw on first down. Catch in the middle, it's Hodges. Across the 25. Brought down just outside the red zone. He moves the chains. It's at the 22. Wow, already up to 250 catches for his career. Pressure is on the way, and the pressure has arrived, and down he goes at the 30. And the Eagles have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's second and a mile. And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On third and long, doesn't need to take the check down. Didn't put much on that one, and it's incomplete.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback in this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done
a shot toward the end zone. And it's incomplete. The long pass on fourth down is to no avail. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. pull the plug on this clock.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position, you're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
Finds his big tight end. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one. It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Pulls it in. It's Flanagan. He'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one. Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and this offense just a couple of minutes away from putting one in the win column. The Nittany Lions will punt this one away. Let's see if he can help the coverage team out with this one. And the punt hits at the 8 and goes into the end zone for the touchback. Eastern Michigan has it back as the Eagle offense returns to the field. This offense needs something to feel good about. It hasn't been very productive today, Jesse.
Well, I think it's just important they stay aggressive, try to throw the football, and just see what this quarterback can do here at the end of the game to build confidence for the next time they take the field.
Yeah, and there hadn't been much good today. But build confidence, sure, but just show your team you're going to keep fighting no matter what the scoreboard says.
Throws for the tight end. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and 3rd down is coming.
It's been tough for this QB in this one. Very small windows to throw into, and he's been under some duress as well. It's hard to find a rhythm as a QB in those types of situations, and that's why it appears as though his team's going to be leaving here with an L.
Fires to the middle. He's picked off, and he's thrown a dozen of them. Made the play on the pick, was hoping to make one on the return. He'll have to settle for letting the offense pay it off to the 26. They'll go to the ground. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Back to pass on 2nd down. Got his man quickly. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Already in chip shot field goal range at the 21, but this 3rd and short, they're still thinking touchdown. And they're able to get a 3rd down stop here. See if they go for it on 4th. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. Splits the uprights right down the middle. And now the lead is extended a little further.
And they just tack on more points to this big lead. Listen, 4th quarter was sitting extremely pretty. All we got to do, not give up big plays, make them earn everything they get the rest this way, and we're looking pretty good.
Eastern Michigan takes over as the offense heads to the field. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape, you know, Jesse, coaches are pointing out, look at this. This was open if we'd have just ran the details to the right route, hung on to the football. Little things can make a big difference.
Yeah, that's why they call it a game of inches, David. But I'll say this, if you're on offense, don't go on social media this week. It ain't going to be pretty after this performance. You've got to lock in. You got to take the week of practice very seriously and find those positives that you can build off, David, you're talking about.
Oh, they're after him. And as he throws.
And this defense has put a game together. Like, it is hard to put all the facets of defense together. Run defense, pass defense. They've been so good, man. Dialed in. You could tell they were ready. They were fast. They were physical. They dominated this football game today.
Pressure coming. And he will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17.
The defense puts the exclamation point on the day. They have had a wonderful day, man. Doing everything great. Just, you could tell they were dialed into what was going on, and now just throw another sack in the equation, hitting the quarterback, being disruptive. They've been all over the field.
Under fire. They get to him as he throws. The incomplete pass ends a frustrating series, and they turn it over on downs. So with the late lead, they're ready to just drain the clock in victory formation. And they'll take a knee and watch this clock keep on winding its way toward a victory.